Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Burger Week in Harlan starts today, and the Natural Bridge Artisan Festival continues today with vendors and music.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. Coming up on 6 o'clock, Brandon Robinson here with your news and weather today, doing a little double duty for you. It is Monday. It is August 21st. It is time to get the new week started, but you're going to have a little trouble with it this week because the heat is here and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Let's take a look at the forecast this morning. We start with US 119, US 23 going up Jenkins Mountain into southwest Virginia. And while it looks fairly nice out there, step out the door and you'll say less there because it's going to be one of those situations where it's going to smack you in the face. It is air you can wear this morning, even though we're still in the 60s and low 70s out there. It is a mild and muggy start to the day. 61 in Clintwood and Y, 62 in Grundy, 64 in Hazard and Middlesboro, but everybody else mid to upper 60s and low 70s out there across the board. Monticello, the warmest spot at 73 this morning. The breakdown for today, 93 this afternoon. Dew points are building in, so it is going to be the Triple H threat all the way through toward the weekend, and we're going to be watching that forecast very closely, especially Thursday and Friday. But the best advice I can give you today and the next several days, take your heat precautions. Back to news this morning. Officials with the Henry Clay Memorial Foundation say they are revising their mission to acknowledge Clay's legacy from many perspectives, including the institution of slavery. Saturday, the foundation held a Black History at Ashland event. They say that even though it can be difficult, they want to make sure Black history is shared. A team within the Fayette County Clerk's Office has been working to digitize records of enslaved people in the county dating back to the 1700s. Rodney Palau with the Slave Dwelling Project gave insight on what it was like to run the Henry Clay estate. He says when people visit, they need to understand the history behind the beauty.
If you don't know your past, it's hard to get to your destiny of your future.
The event also featured genealogy and historical research assistants helping some visitors find their enslaved ancestors using digitized records that they compiled. Harlan's Burger Week is bringing in a lot of excitement for the city. The event kicks off today with 9 restaurants displaying unique recipes on burgers. Harlan Tourism Executive Director Brandon Pennington says they were inspired by other cities having their own burger weeks. He says he's excited for people to enjoy all they have to offer in Harlan County.
That cities are doing burger weeks all over the United States, especially some of my partners down here in southeastern Kentucky. And so we got really excited about the idea of Burger Week. Not only does this bring visitors into our area, but these visitors get to visit some of the restaurants that they may not have went to while they were here. It gives a little bit more promotion for those restaurants. It gives promotion for Harlan, and it really just invites people to come down and experience Harlan in an authentic way.
Pennington says the winner will receive a burger trophy. He says if you complete your passport, which you can pick up at the Harlan Center, you can bring it back for a free t-shirt. For more information and on who's involved and all the things that are going on over there, visit our website at WYMT.com. The last of the Country Music Highway tribute shows was held Saturday night at the MAC in Prestonsburg. WYMT's RJ Johnson was there to see how the shows have gone and what the plans are going forward.
This is really an initiative that started last year as we were trying to figure out ways to celebrate this incredible asset, which is the Country Music Highway that goes from Greenup and Boyd County, all the way down to Letcher County.
COO of SOAR, Joshua Ball, says they are celebrating their hard work.
We found some consensus, we cast the vision, and we're here today celebrating the finale. We've been in Paintsville and we've been in Whitesburg for outdoor shows. But we've got music lined up for more than 8 hours today.
Saying their first shows turned into something bigger.
We knew early on we were onto something, and so we thought initially we would have an event with a few hours of music, and our 2 outdoor shows turned into festivals.
Which isn't what they had imagined. Ball thanks support from sponsors and partners such as county tourism conventions for their participation.
Everyone come together and really bought into this, and tonight we're going to be able to hand out more than $7,000 to deserving organizations that are supporting arts and music along the highway.
All right, other news this morning, Natural Bridge State Park in Powell County is not for just hiking and outdoor activities. Yesterday was the second day of the Artisans Festival. More than 40 vendors were set up offering fun and food. Several local musicians played some tunes there too. Ethan Moore, general manager of WSKV Radio in Stanton, said the festival has been able to relocate post-COVID and there's been an increase in vendors wanting to participate.
Given an opportunity for this particular festival to recreate itself. We actually used to have kind of a different venue within the park, and then after COVID restriction landed, that actually caused us to have to look outside of the park because of the COVID restrictions. So we landed here at Natural Bridge Campground, I guess 2 years ago.
And the festival continues for today from 10 until 7 at the campground there in Slade. Hundreds of motorsport fans gathered at the arena in Corbin on Saturday for the Drift Indy Street League event. WYMT's Jack Demler has more from the track.
Drifters, start your engines. What pro racers are calling the fastest growing motorsport, the Drift Indy Street League made a pit stop in Corbin.
And this is just a blank canvas and beautiful place with beautiful roads for drifters.
Edgar Sarmiento says a big part of the event has come through the help of Backroads of Appalachia. Executive Director of Backroads of Appalachia, Eric Hubbard, says his job is all about recruiting motorsport activities to give community members something to see and do.
We have the best opportunity, the best roads in the country to bring drifting, hill climbs, rally car race, supercars, motorcycles, side-by-sides, Jeeps, and I can go on, but we have it all.
And it's events like these that have a much younger generation, like 17-year-old Cash Dobbs here, excited to go to work.
It's so cool because, you know, you'll go to events and you'll see some younger kids, same age as me, or even sometimes younger, and you always just kind of flock to them, and you always kind of have this bond with them because you're like, yo, we're the youngest guys here, and we're really carrying on the sport right now. And it always feels really cool to just see other young drifters in it too.
Dobbs started drifting 2 years before receiving his license and says he has always been welcomed in the sport community, a sport Corbin hopes to bring back for future years.
But I think it has the potential to just be huge, and we've had a great response just the first year.
Hoping to make the city of Corbin a permanent pit stop. In Corbin, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
Look at Jack having a good time in that car there this weekend. Hubbard says Drift Appalachia will become the #1 motorsport in the United States, and this is all made possible thanks to some legislation that was passed this past year. Saturday was the 5th annual Day of Dignity event in Lexington. Share Kentucky partnered with Islamic Relief USA to hold the event, providing services to those who are either homeless or from low-income households. They wanted to help those in attendance gain access to the resources available in order to guide them toward a path of self-sufficiency.
Everybody deserves the services that were offered here. It should be something that everybody just rightfully gets. And so us in the city and all these volunteers here, we have hundreds of volunteers that just gave up their time today to be here because we all agree that we need to uplift our communities and give back in whatever way that we can.
Attendees had access to multiple different services such as school supply kits, hot meals, produce, job services, free health screenings, and even haircuts. The 11th annual Alleyway benefit gospel concert, car show, and auction took place Saturday at the Warfield Community Park in Martin County. Ricky Alley, who started this event, says he did not do it for attention, but to make a difference in someone's life. The event featured something for everyone, including gospel music and food. People were able to buy chances on a Blackstone grill in order to help with proceeds to those in the community.
Great people that come out and help support this. Every year the singers come, they help out. And the best thing about it, the singers come and from far and wide and don't ask them not one dime. They come because they love what I'm doing.
Alley also says he does this for the people and never expects anything in return. He plans to host the event next year. 7 veterans and their families gathered at Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College this weekend for a special honor. They were presented with Quilts of Valor. The quilts are handmade and given to those who have risked their lives protecting our country. Orville Lawson says it is an honor to receive something the volunteers have worked so hard on and to be there on behalf of those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Some of my classmates in school didn't even make it back home. It's a privilege for me to stand here and speak on their behalf.
Lawson received the Purple Heart and the Bronze Star for his time in the service, which we thank him and all of his fellow veterans for. The Quilts of Valor started with 5 women and has grown into more than 11,000 volunteers. All right, 6:09, another check of your forecast this morning. London Corbin Airport not looking too bad. Mainly clear skies down that way. Temperatures out that way at 68 at the London Corbin Airport, 68 also Pikeville, 70 at Jackson, 73 in Monticello, but a bunch of mid to upper 60s out there, but low 60s in Southwest Virginia and in Hazard and Middlesboro, kind of mid 60s. We've got to get 1 more degree up there to get to the mid 60s there. Temperature difference, it's a pretty big one there for the last couple of days, or from yesterday, from the past couple of days. We got down into the 50s and low 60s there Saturday and Sunday morning, not so much this morning there, and you see several degree difference there in many locations. Your breakfast forecast, if you're getting up and heading out here in the next little bit, should be pretty good. Temperatures in the upper 60s, lots of sunshine, and we're going to warm up quickly as we head deeper into the afternoon hours, so just be ready for that. 6:10 your time. Thanks for joining us here on Mountain News this morning, and more news is on the way. Coming up, Hillary continues to bring torrential rain to Southern California.